Well, welcome folks, back out on the boat, plaice fishing today. Got a plaice comp with my local club. Got this young man on board, Flo.
Hello.
Really good angler. He loves his light gear, gets out there, gets between the bass, and does really well actually. Probably show me a thing or two actually for the old bass. Northerly winds, rocking around a little bit, but yeah, so plaice is the target species, but we'll take anything, really would. And rig wise, I'm using a float rig setup, which I'll show you a bit later on, and also it's just a running ledger with a load of spoons and the like. And Flo, what are you using? You're using?
So I've got it's kind of like a bit like a 2-hook boom rig. I believe it's called a spreader, somebody told me. I've got a flat weight on that, just ragworm, and some sort of short snoods.
So that's the rigs. Sun is up. Let's bag a plaice. Well, I thought I'll show you the rig, folks. So the float rig. So what I've done, if I'll quickly show you this, on the main line, a bead as a stopper. Got a stop knot slightly further up the line to plumb the depth. Float on a clip rig, so I can clip it on, clip it off as required, and obviously it butts up against the bead to when it gets to plumb depth. I've used a Termilink as the weight holder, but what I've done, if I'll show you that, is spoon then the weight. Bit of attractant, so it's bouncing along like that, shining all over the place, and that's what the old plaice like. They do like a bit of bling. Let me just unhook the hook from the rope. There I have 2 foot of trace with another spoon and a wishbone rig, loads of different types of beads, greens, oranges, whatever colour you prefer, and then right at the business end, the green and blacks, with a size 2 hook, and there's the setup. Plumb the depth straight down, bottom of the boat, and then what I do is I give it about another foot. And what I do is I want the float to plumb the depth on the peak of the wave, and when it's in the trough of the wave, it goes down like that and cocks. And what that does is slows the drift down of the of the rig basically, sort of thing. So you get more time fishing, because obviously when the tide picks up a little bit, it goes quicker, and you're forever reeling up, down, reeling up and down. So if you can slow that rig down, going through the water, it's much better fishing, and obviously you've more chance of picking up a few plaice, sort of thing. So that's the rig we're using today. I've hooked myself again. Anyway, let's get back to it. So bait wise, I'm using the good old King Rag, some big old boys there, and took a little bit of black lug as well. Not the best of black lug, to be honest. Sure, it's frozen, it's a bit mingy sort of thing. I've had it in the freezer probably too long. A little bit of strip squid. Again, I've just hooked it out the freezer. Again, not in the best of condition really, to be fair. If I was fishing off the shore, I probably wouldn't have brought this, but yeah. So where's my float? There's my float. I don't know if you can pick this up. Let's see if we can zoom in and see the float. You may be able to see it just bobbing in the distance in the center of the screen. And yeah, the good thing about that is you cover distance, you cover area, and you got more chance of picking a plaice up, because obviously the plaice move around as well, and also they are static as well. So if you're moving your bait around in different positions, different places, you've got a chance of picking them up. And Hayling Bay, there we go. And the good thing about it, there's not too many anglers around me either, so that's quite nice. Plenty of room, plenty of space. So Flo's got his first fish into the dogger.
Lovely little
The good old
dogfish.
dogfish. Well done, buddy.
Yeah.
You're beating the blank, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
So
It was
hopefully,
only out 5 minutes, wasn't it?
yeah, hopefully not too many of those to come.
No, hopefully not. So we're
Yeah.
being the blank.
Exactly that. Well, I haven't blanked, but I've got one of these. The good old dogger. Never fouls, does it? Never fouls. Only a dinky little thing. Anyway, beat the blank. Let's get it back. Yeah, that's the only thing. It could be a bit of a bit of a dog sesh. That's the only thing. Got to try and sort of not get too many dogs if we can help it, and ruin the bait and get through it, isn't it? Well, I thought I'd show you my other rig, what I'm using. First time I've used this style of rig. Well, the spoons anyway, not the actual rig as such. So, running ledger, turn my link as a slider, a few beads just to buffer it off a little bit, another termy link, clip on, clip off, nice and quick. About 2 foot, something around that, a bit bigger, snood. And then I brought some of these from a local tackle shop. Yeah, it's going to give them a go. And load of all beads, greens and oranges, worm. Going to flick it up tight, let it bounce round and see what happens. And yeah, that was the rig that I had the dogfish on. Hopefully not too many of those, but yeah, let's get it out there and see if we can bag one of those spotted fish that everyone loves to catch, and everyone's out today trying for a place.
There we are, everybody. We've got a double shot. It's on the rig I'm using. Got a smooth end and dreaded dogfish. Get them back now.
Always nice to see a smooth hound, that's for sure. Just that we wanted a double figure would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That'd certainly give you a fight.
Oh, bloody hell, I would. It's only small at a minute, but give it time, eh?
Well, I've got one on the old float rig. Who knows what it is? I looked round and the float had gone. So it'd been well under. It's not much to fight to it, but let's see what it's going to be. I think it's going to be a dogger. What have we got?
Like a smooth hound.
Is it a smooth hound? Yay, little smoothie. There we go, look at that. Happy days. Let's get it up and unhooked and get it away. And I'll take that when it's a double figure all day long. And it's away. Let's get it back in the water. Got some nice big worm on it. A bit bigger than I really want, to be fair. But there we go. That's what it is. Now if I was a place, I'd be taking those, definitely. Well folks, it's target achieved. We've only gone and bagged one of these little beauties on the float rig, wishbone, happy days. I'm going to give it about a pound, I suppose, something like that. It's not a bad fit. Well, actually, if you look at it, you can see on its side of its wings in the light there, it's thin on the wings. That's what they're like this time of year. But yeah, happy days. The float rig has done the trick. So, for the competition, I've caught one. Is it going to be big enough? Who knows? But it's early doors. It's just gone 9:30ish. So we've got plenty of time. Let's see what happens. Well, we've had the one place. Sadly, Flo he had to go in. He wasn't feeling too great, and it happens. That's the way it is out on the boat. Sometimes it's it just gets to you. You can't get yourself together, and that's it. So we weren't too far out anyway, so it was no bother. We nipped him back in. Hopefully he's feeling a lot better now. But yeah, there's no point being out on the boat if you're feeling that bad. You know, it just happens. It's the way it is. But anyway, I'm back out again, chasing the plaice again. So just the one. Hopefully not too many doggers and whiting. But the sun is up. The wind's dropped right off now. We're down to about force 2, something like that, on the northerly, which is perfect. And yeah, the float is out there. I don't suppose you can see it in the camera, but it's there. It's doing its magic. And yeah, hopefully some more great fishing to be had. Well, I've baited up on my float rig. Squid, ragworm on one, and rag and a little bit of black leg on the other. So there we go, that's what it's going to look like. Let me show you what it's going to look like as we go down. So all I do is get it in the tide. There's a bit of a tangle at the moment, so you just got to knock that tangle out. Let me just get that tangle out of that float. There's a right old tangle here. Let's have a look. What's going on? Oh, I see. There we go. Is it undone? No. Isn't that always the way? The tangle, the dreaded tangle, drives you bloody nuts. So let's undo it. Get it all sorted out. Just a matter of twisting it the right way, and there we go. There it is. So let's start that again. So put it in the tide, let it set itself so it's right way, everything's apart, no tangles, and gently let it go down, feathering it down as you go to the bottom. Then it hit the stop knot, and it takes a bit of getting used to. There we go, slowly getting through it, and there we go. So as you can see, it's not cocked at the moment. It will hit the stop knot shortly. Hope you can see all that, and there we go. It's gonna, there we go, it's away. So it goes up and down as the waves go up and down, which slows down the drift. It's just what we want. There we go. I've got a bit of a heavy weight on there to really slow the drift down, so which means that the float will go right under and then bob back up, sort of thing, which is fine because it's just slowing the drift down. Not so great for seeing the bite detections, but it does what it needs to do, and that is cover vast amount of area to try and find a plaice. So there we go. Well, the float rig is definitely doing the business today. Second place, again, probably 3/4 pound to a pound, something like that. But yeah, the float rig is doing the business. I absolutely favour east tide, then as it turns round to the west tide, literally within that sort of hour period, that is the time for plaice fishing in Hayling Bay. It just unbelievably changes. It really does. You can be there all day on an east tide. As soon as it makes that change from a east to a west tide, bam, you're into them straight away. Anyway, let's get this away, and I want to get it back out there and see if I can get one of those big ones, like a 3 or 4 pounder. Hope that we're in the comp, a 3 or 4 pounder and all. So anyway, there they are. They're on the bite. Let's get to them. Right, here we go. Oh, that's probably going to be a smooth hound, I reckon. Something like a smooth hound or a dogger. I don't suppose it would be a plaice, to be fair. But there we go. What's it going to be? I reckon it's going to be a smooth hound the way it's darting around here. And I am correct. Let's get him in. Only a little one, only a small little pup. There you are. Lovely to see though, aren't they? Absolutely lovely to see. So yeah, let's get it back in and target for the plaice. That's what we're really here for. But the season's beginning. The bream is starting to show up. The smooth hounds are starting to show up. So it's all happy days. Get rid of this manky old bait. Got some manky old worm on there. Let's get rid of that. Just got to keep an eye on that float. When you are float fishing, obviously you do get other boaters around, yachts and all that sort of thing. So they ain't going to see your float, and certainly not going to see your line. So you just got to make sure that they don't end up taking your line off and you're losing all your kit. And yeah, that's that, isn't it? But also with the float fishing as well is always do the slow retrieve as well. That sometimes works as well. Slowly retrieve it back to the boat. That can quite often pick up a plaice or two. The plaice like the movement. They love it. Absolutely love it. Nice and juicy worm. I'm going to tip off a little bit of squid. Just for a little bit of colour. A bit of scent. There we go, look at that. Prime, absolute prime. The old rattlies and a bead and a juicy worm. What plaice would not want that, eh? I've scaled down the lead a little bit, only on 2 ounces. The tide's dropped right off. So I've scaled the lead down so what little tide there is there will move the bait around. Wash your old hands and launch away. The boat is all over the place at the moment. It's got northerly wind. So it's sort of on the side of the boat, if you like. The tide is runs east and west, so the north wind is pulling us on the north. So it's moving about to and fro where the tide's counteracting the wind, and then the wind picks up a little bit more, it counteracts the tide. So it is a bit of a nightmare at times. But once that tide picks up, we'll get a decent angle again and it'll be all good. Come on, nice 2 pounder or plus. Old Wayner, he's come to join me. It's not been happening for him, and that's the way fishing goes sometimes. You go to a decent mark and it just don't happen. So I've been in contact with him, given the heads up, said, you know, I've had a couple and the bites seem to be happening. Just come over and come and join me. That's what it's about sometimes. It's all about sharing info and having a good day's fishing. Yes, there is a competition, and yes, we are competing against each other, but we're all buddies. I ain't bothered. To be fair, if he catches fish and he gets a bigger one than me, fair play to him. But that's what it's all about. You can't always keep your numbers to yourself. You've got to share. The more we share, the more info we get, the more fishing and better fishing we have. So there it is. He's just setting his anchor, getting himself all ready, and hopefully he'll bag himself a plaice or two. But hopefully not bigger than mine. But who knows? Well, it's not gone quite to plan this afternoon, but getting a few dogs, a few whiting, but it's absolutely gorgeous out here. Absolutely gorgeous. So I've taken the float off now on this rod, and I'm literally just whacking it up tide, letting the tide bounce it round, trying a few different tactics just to see if I can plug another fish out. Got 2 plaice, can I make it a 3rd one? It would be really nice. just to plug another one out and see what we can do. But I'm just keep moving it, working the spoons. I can feel that the spoon is moving with the tide. You can feel it bouncing through the line. And there's something that the seagulls are attacking over there. They've obviously found a fish or a dead whiting or something or another. Anyway, let's put it back down, see what happens. Again, this rod here, I'm just working it a little bit. Just to see, again, what can I pull out. Not giving up yet. But what we'll do is we'll probably give it another 20 minutes. Nothing happens, then I'll probably pull anchor and oh, got a bite, I think. Maybe not. So yeah, so pull anchor and I'll just have a drift for probably the last sort of 3/4 hour to an hour before I have to go in. Got to be back on the pontoon for free, so I don't miss the tide. And yeah, that is it. What will come? Well, it's not going quite to plan at the moment on the west tide. It's sort of dog city really, to be honest with you, and a few waiting for it. But Wayner over there, he's managed to pull out a little dab as well, which is nice to see. I've certainly not had one for a long time, and I don't think he has either. Don't forget to check out Wayne Corbin Angling. Well, this is about the story of it this afternoon, really, to be honest with you, on the old fishing front, the old place. There we are, that's about the story of it. A double shot, one ting and one dogger. There we go, let's get them back. Well, the rods are out, we're on the drift, we're running at about 0.8, 0.9 knots, which is about the right speed what we want to be at. And let's see what's going to happen. We're on the last of the death of the day for me, and leaving Wayne to it. I think he's going to stay on the anchor for a little bit more. But yeah, it is what it is. Well, I'm happy. I've got 2 plaice, so it's target achieved if nothing else. Anyway, let me get back to it. Well folks, that is it. It's time to go. I'm going to reel up the rods. I've had a little drift, just to manage one dogger on the drift, nothing else. Bit of weed on the way through as well, and that is it. So today, 2 plaice. Not the best trip of by far, not the best trip, but nevertheless, target species achieved, and that's what it's about. I've got something to weigh in. Just checking that rod actually. Yeah, it's fine. And who knows what's weighed in. I don't think it's been a great day out there for anglers today in the Solent for the old place, so you never know, I might be in it for a chance for 1st or 2nd place. Hey plaice. And yeah, so that's it. I'm done, going in now, get on the pontoon before it dries out, and Tight lines everyone, get out there and have a go, and see if you can bag yourself a plaice or two yourself.